Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Natasha, and in this video, I would like to present my thesis proposal, which will be titled The Social Model of Disability in Borderlands 3: Positive Representation of Physically Disabled Bodies in Narrative, Visualization, and Characterization. First, we're going to start off with the background of the research, which is the dehumanization of physical disability found in video games. So, in the majority of big-budget survival horror games such as Biohazard or Resident Evil and The Evil Within, The Last of Us, Left 4 Dead, these games, they portray physically disabled bodies as misshapen, grotesque forms and use them as horrific enemies that the player must face. So they face dehumanization and they are only viewed as these very gross bodies that the players must defeat, and therefore it antagonizes them as well. And these enemies are genetically mutated humans, which resulted in disfigured bodies and reanimated corpses, which usually comes in the form of zombies and others. So if most video games portray physically disabled bodies as bad, then what's the difference in Borderlands 3? Well, inside of the game, it has the power to change. So Gearbox Software, which is the developers of Borderlands 3, has made conscious efforts to abolish negative portrayal of physical disabilities inside of their game. One of these examples is the change of the name midget enemies to Tinks, which refers to their occupation as tinkerers more than a reference to their dwarfism bodies. And then there are the introduction of new planets and moons inside of the game, which is different from the second and first game, which only takes place in Pandora. With these new planets, it expands the possibility of better environments for physically disabled bodies compared to the anarchy of the planet Pandora. Also, compared to other big-budget games, the Borderlands series has shown more inclusivity for other minority groups without discrimination, such as queer people and mentally disabled persons as well. And with its booming popularity, Borderlands 3 will be able to reach a larger audience with its positive representation. Regarding positioning, then how is this study different compared to previous ones? First, it differs from the analyzed game aspect. A study by Tom Shack analyzed the Foucauldian power relation in Borderlands 2, and there was a disability representation analysis by Mintz and Green, but they focused more on a gameplay aspect and how it affects physically disabled people in real life. Meanwhile, this study focuses on Borderlands 3, the latest installment of the series, and it puts emphasis on its narrative elements and how physically disabled bodies are represented. And then the second one, it differs from disability representation. Previous studies of disability either focus on it as a general term or it merely specifies towards mental disabilities, such as the study by Gibbons that analyzed the game AutoSim, which replicated the experience of an autistic person. There are very little study that discusses about the representation of physically disabled bodies in video games. Then we come to the statement of the problem. How does the in-game narrative of Borderlands 3 portray physically disabled characters in a positive light through characterization, visualization, and plot? These are the references that I use for constructing my background. I will include the links to these references in the description. And that will be all for my presentation. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.